most delicate melodies I've written, born from a place of inner turbulence. On the surface, they sound peaceful, gentle, maybe even nostalgic, but beneath them lies the weight of anxiety. For a long time, I didn't realize how much my inner restlessness had shaped my music. I thought I was composing despite my anxiety. Now I see that I was often composing through it. There's something strange about how anxiety and creativity intertwine. When I sit at the piano, sometimes sometimes the notes pour out in a way that feels effortless. Other times, I freeze. The pressure to create something meaningful or worse, perfect, can be overwhelming. And in those moments, the music feels distant, like I'm chasing rather than something I'm living. In those silent spaces between ideas, self-doubt creeps in. Is this good enough? Does this even matter? Am I still a composer if I don't finish this? These are questions I've asked myself more than I'd like to admit. Yet, in confronting these thoughts, I learned that the act of creation itself is valuable, regardless of how good the result may seem. I had to accept that some works are simply stepping stones, unfinished thoughts, experiments, improvisations, and reflections that eventually lead to something more complete. And yet, somehow, I've always found my way back to the keys, not because I feel confident or certain, but because music become a way to speak when words fail me. It became my grounding force, a fragile thread between chaos and calm. But this month, I want to speak honestly about what that process has looked like. The moments when anxiety made me abandon a piece halfway. The times I was too scared to share something I wrote because it felt too personal or not good enough. Quiet battles. Yeah, what listeners hear. There's a cost to creating when you're overwhelmed, but there's also kind of healing that comes with it. Not every piece needs to be a masterpiece. Sometimes it just needs to be a place to breathe. I'm learning that it's okay to rest, to step back, to write for myself without the pressure of performance or approval. Music isn't always pushing through. It's also about listening, being present, and letting the silence speak. A farewell to the belief that anxiety disqualifies me from being creative because maybe the struggle is part of the art. Anxiety and creativity have long intertwined for me, each feeding into the other in a cyclical dance. The pressure to create something perfect often drowns out the music that flows from my heart. But through the struggles, I've learned that the very struggle is part of the art. It shapes my melodies, adding depth and texture to my work. In embracing my imperfections and my struggles, I'm learning to create a place of authenticity rather than fear. The melodies, though born from anxiety, carry with them a sense of truth and honesty that perhaps I never would have discovered without the struggle. With this rawness, this willingness to be vulnerable, that allows my music to resonate with others. In the end, anxiety isn't something to escape from. It's something to create though. And in doing so, vulnerability and to find strength in the journey itself. Some compositions remain unfinished. Some compositions remain unfinished, trapped in a state of incompletion. As I listen to these fragments, I reminded of the places I was unable. I'm reminded of the places I was unable to go at the time. There's a sadness in leaving something incomplete. But there's also an understanding that not every idea needs to be fully realized to have value. In some ways, these unfinished pieces are my reflection, are a reflection of my ongoing process as a composer. There are ideas I've started but never finished. Themes I've begun to explore but never completed. These fragments are not failures. They're simply part of the journey, reminders that creativity is ever evolving and that some things are left